What's up guys, it's Danny, and today I'm reviewing the LEGO Star Wars 75337 ATTE Walker. Now this retails for $140 here in the US and has 1,082 pieces and 8 minifigures. But most importantly, for the first time ever, a Phase 2 Commander Cody, and boy oh boy has this been a long time in the making. This is quite possibly the best set for prequels fans and probably the best set of the entire summer wave. But can it stand up to my criticism? Probably, but make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for lots more LEGO Star Wars news, build reviews, and shopping hauls. Let's get into it. It's crazy how far the LEGO design team has come in 20 years, from the first ATTE in 2003 to the second one in 2008, to the third one in 2013, and the fourth in 2016. Now we are on the fifth model here in 2022, but what's even crazier is the amount of people that don't know what ATTE stands for. Drop a hashtag BobSquad in the comment section below if you knew that it stood for All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. And I mean all-terrain. These are one of the coolest vehicles in Star Wars, capable of conquering almost any terrain, even vertical. Watch this. Sit, shake, good boy. Thanks to an upgraded foot design, this new version has pimped out cankles. I'm just kidding, but I don't really love how there's a gap, but I do like the added detail with this new gear element, and the feet look a lot better. The legs are also improved, showing the gap through the struts, which is a lot more accurate, and the hip connections are more brick-built and less reliant upon stickered or printed elements to accomplish the same amount of detail. Now, you could argue about that, but I kind of like this one more. This middle leg is only on one pin, and the foot is very opposable, so when you actually set the whole thing down on the table, the legs lock into place and it feels extremely sturdy, which is the point because these aren't meant to get pushed around. You can kind of pose the middle leg a little bit, but really it's going to just be in this locked in position, so there's not a whole lot of additional posability other than putting it up on its hind legs like this, which might actually be a solution if you're really short on space. Taking a look at the weaponry, the rotator plate for the top cannon does make it a bit of a bumpy ride for the gunner, so it would have been nice to have two studs on the seat to stick his butt to, but I guess the bumpy ride evokes a little more realism if he's in battle. The next added play feature here are the stud launchers on the sides that you kind of have to grab to fire, but that's fun, and it is an upgrade from flick fire missiles on the 2013 model. Then there are of course 4 front-lacing laser cannons and 2 rear-facing laser cannons that are held in place with the rod so they don't break off of the ball element. Technically there should be a gunner seat for the ones in the front, but this already holds 6 troopers and 2 gunners and a pilot, so that's pretty good capacity for a play set. Speaking of capacity, if you raise up the top gun and then open the 2 heavily armored side panels, you reveal this spacious interior. You've got a thermal detonator rack, and you've also got this crate with white binoculars inside. This plate right here is actually removable. I call it a drop deck, and it makes it way easier to load and unload your troops, as the compartment is a bit tighter in the front than it is in the back. Underneath it though, it's just a big gap, so hopefully the ATTE doesn't walk into any big mud puddles. This closes up really nicely, so these slopes fit right into the corners, and so it kind of rotates and then folds into place. Then looking at the front here, the cockpit is removable just like the 2013 set, and it's held into place with 2 slider rails and an axle. The driver has his 2 throttle sticks, and the set actually includes a clone so that you can have a driver, which is great. But then the last interior space is on the back. But before we go back there, I do want to point out another huge improvement. You'll notice that you can't really see into the sides of the interior, and that's because of these corner panels that do a pretty good job of preventing peering eyes from spotting this guy drinking on the job. This back section is attached to the top with 2 hinges, but it opens up like this, and then on the sides as well, giving you a huge amount of space to get your fat hands in there. There are 4 seats plus a gunner seat, and yes, that is a sticker on the control panel there. I'll place Cody here in the gun seat. There's also a weapons rack back here, but I don't think that it was made for the long barrel blasters because it doesn't fit unless you turn it and put it like this. I think it's more meant to hold like Cody and the gunner's guns, but I tried putting them in a different way, and then I couldn't close the top, so yeah, it was a challenge. But the amount of interior space on this set is mind-blowing, and it by far has the most polished look, with all of the exterior slopes. The back section here is even sloped off, and the connections are well within the threshold for LEGO. Like, you're not going to get a perfectly aligned piece with no gaps in a playset, but this is pretty close. And this is what the entire thing looks like open. It kind of reminds me of a Japanese beetle when it's like spreading its wings. As for the additional sticker details, there's just 2 on the sides, and then the 2 Republic logos, and then a total of 4 here on the top. It definitely helps show a bit more wear and tear on the vehicle, but it's interesting how clean they kept it with minimal color. I think the design team has this vehicle down pat, and now it's time to give us a UCS version. Since most people will undeniably be buying the set for Phase 2 Commander Cody, here he is in all of his glory with orange arms, a unique torso, hip and leg prints. He also has a unique clone face with the scar. this figure is just about as good as it gets, with a beautiful back print and some marks showing wear and tear. His helmet is also unique with the orange marks and the tan stripes on top. And I think the only thing that could have been better here was a more fitted visor, which is understandable. I do hope that LEGO creates a better visor at some point, but I think the bigger issue here is actually on the remaining clones, of which we do get 3, and these are the 212th Legion clones. They have the standard clone face and white arms. Unfortunately, none of mine are misprinted, which doesn't help hide the fact that there are some pretty big changes to the helmet. Now, as for the trooper's torso and leg prints, I love the white hips, those are clean, foot printing is great, and these are all around a lot more detailed. But just regarding the helmets, the orange triangle print on the top used to be more accurate, and now there isn't enough space above that line. The T-visors and grills are a little wider, which I guess can kind of work for LEGO's style, I suppose, but on top of it all, we have these new helmet attachment holes which are placed above the ear, and it does look weird. I like the fact that we can add attachments again, which is something LEGO stopped doing in, 2014, and we actually get orange visors that we can put on all of these clone troopers, but still the placement is going to bother a lot of people. The last clone figure here is the Gunner, which has the black armor strap and tan Gunner helmet stripes on top. You can expect a standard clone face underneath, and the tan strap continues around the back on a very highly detailed back print. This Gunner is a huge improvement, I would say, over the 2017 Republic fighter tank figure, so he has foot printing. I think he's more detailed overall, but again, we run into that same issue with the helmet, which has me wondering if this is the new standard or if we complain enough that LEGO might change it. But let me know in the comments what you think about this new helmet change. Now, if you can look past those helmet changes, the fact that we get a Phase 2 Cody, 3 of the 212 troopers, and a Gunner is pretty phenomenal. I'm pretty sure that's the most clones in a single set for a very long time, and on top of that, we do get 3 battle droids, which is a huge win, considering most sets just come with 1 or 2. Now, these guys have the gunmetal gray blasters and are pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a battle droid. As for the Separatist side build, instead of including a crab droid, which is seen in the Battle of Utapau, which you'll notice is the actual box art of the set, the designers for some reason included a dwarf spider droid, which is a bit of a shame. But by all means, build your own crab droid. This isn't a bad side build. It's just that it doesn't really provide anything special, and it's inaccurate, which kind of sucks. But overall, I'd still have to say that this is the best set of August 1st, if not for the Inquisitor Transport Scythe, which I will be reviewing next, so stay tuned for that. As for clones, I do think we have a lot to look forward to in 2023 with a 501st expansion pack rumor to heat things up. So until then, we have this set, which is unfortunately out of stock on LEGO.com and all retailers at the time of this video, but when it does come back in stock, I'll be sure to provide the Amazon affiliate link in the description below. Apparently, the set was actually delayed in the US because of a missing piece, and I'm beginning to think that missing piece was a freight truck to haul these sets to the LEGO warehouse. But in all seriousness, I do hope that LEGO continues to improve and we get to benefit from all the great sets and even better figures in the future. But that is a wrap for this one. Let me know in the comments below if you have the set. If you don't, I have all the Amazon affiliate links for sets in the description below. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching and happy building.
Hello there.